So today we'll be looking at two case studies, one medical app, one anime app, and we'll just be talking about what I might do to improve the design, some things they did well, some things they didn't do so well, and I'll put the link to the description of the two designers' projects. And thank you guys for sending in your designs. Let's get started. Okay, so we have the first one, which is the medical app. Just gonna zoom more on this. I also have the Figma file, but yeah, let's start with the Figma file. So we have the appointment screen. Just gonna go here and just see what he did here. All right, so the good side. I love the general aesthetic of the app. I love the simple blue colors. It shows that he understands branding and colors, and that's great. That's fantastic. Um, yeah, from a logic point of view, the app has everything you need. Booking appointments, talking to your doctor, having chats with your doctor. So everything is pretty much laid out from a UX point of view. Now let's just talk about some UI stuff. All right, so what I'll do differently first of all is the font titles. As you can see, the font sizing. As you can see, this is 24 pixels. Come to this one. This is 18 pixels. Come to this one. This is 13 pixels. And what do we have again? And this is 8 pixels. So we have about four different font sizes. And what that does is like kind of just looking at it at first view, it just kind of looks disorganized, looks like a lot of text playing around. So what you want to do is majorly have three font sizes. Just keep it at three. If you can, two, but majorly just three. That's the sweet mark. So you want to have your large call to action font size. You want to have your body text, and you want to have your footnote. So those three, or footnote or caption, those three font sizes are key. Majorly, you'll be playing around with two. Now you have to think about the call to action. So what do you want your user to do when they get here? I'm thinking you might want to redial this person's number. So that's not pretty obvious to a user. So you might want to have like an arrow here showing them that they can redial this person. You can call this person because it's not really clear. If I hit this card, will I get information about the call? Will I call this person again? What's going to happen? So that needs to be clear from a user experience point of view. Video call icon here, so there's no need to state it as well to say it's a video call. So you want to limit information as much as possible. Just keep it key information. So the text video call, I wouldn't put a text there. I'll just leave it as an icon. So that's fine. I think that's good. All right. So the nav, what I love the fact that it fades as it's going. I love how that looks. It's very unique. So the calls from yesterday currently are faded. I'm sure when I scroll up, it's gonna, yeah, that looks great. Same thing that he did with the so this is a good design language. So same thing that he did with the nav bar. So you can see that that's consistent. Fade when not in use is good. So I like that. It's really good. What I might do as well is to shift the padding. I think for the navbar items, I think they're too wide apart. You have to always think about people's thumbs. If I'm using my phone, will I be easy for me to go to home using one finger? Can I stretch? The surface area when I'm using my thumb is pretty small, so you want to make the nav items, which are things that you want to quick. You don't want someone to switch hands to just change the nav item. So you want it to be reachable by your thumb. So you might want to reduce the padding for that. Okay, so the next screen. Hello, Peter. Hey, that's me. How can we take care of you today? This looks fantastic. I love the icons, and what I would do differently is, so when dealing with iconography, you have to pick one style, and I can see that these two styles are similar. You have the two-tone colors, which looks great. Um, you might want to have that kind of effect on this one. I can see that this one has a stroke. It has a stroke icon. So you might want to just keep it like this two-tone style and no stroke at all. just so that all the icons look like it's from the same app. It's just a very subtle thing, but users can actually notice that. Okay, so looking at the health tips, um, the text is quite small, so I use glasses, so I have to strain to see tips to sleep better. It's quite small. So what I'll do differently is maybe just have two tips show up at this point, or um, stretch the. So let's move on to the health tips. So what I'll do differently at this point is to stretch the health tips, make them a bit longer, just so I can make the text size bigger. So our health tips on this screen. Okay, so I don't think he put the health tips on this screen. Oh yeah, here they are. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to just make this one a bit taller so I can increase this font size. I can see that it's 10, so that's the thing of our font size as well. So we have different font sizes. This should be a lot bigger. So it's very obvious. This should be the same size as this, ideally, so I can read it easily. Then you might want to show it truncated. So if it's going to be 5 tips to sleep better, you might not have the full headline in that. It might just be have an ellipsis after. So you might want to show that in your design so that your stakeholders can understand what happens when the text is too long. So always try and have like super long text, like he did here. Always try and have super long text at different parts of the design, just to show what happens in that instance. Okay, so I think I'm done with this screen. It's really good. I like it. Just have to say what I will improve. Okay, so on this screen, the doctor screen, this is another case of font sizes. We have doctors, search doctors by name, which is a very important thing. It's not pretty obvious when you're looking at it like this. They can actually search doctors. So this should be this text, this placeholder text should be a bit bigger, probably the same size as this, so that's pretty obvious. You can make the font size dim, you can make the font color dim, but the text should be bigger. And yeah, so just play around with 2 to 3. Remember what I said, the major text, call to action text, which is huge, it's the largest one. You have your body text, that's the one you're doing all your typing, and you have the caption or your footnote. So it's just very small, just things I don't want to highlight. A little bit should be that small. So just 3 text sizes. Here we have 2 main text sizes going on. So you want to separate your what would I do differently? I think the background and the search, yeah, it's fine. I know you want to make it look modern, but maybe just make that background about a bit darker so that this search can really be clearer to see. The white background around search can be clearer to see, just a little bit. That's fine. I love the cards. This is really, really good. Yeah, zoom back to the screen here so I can just see everything at a glance. Okay, appointments. Now the thing with this appointment screen, is that is the most important thing here is picking your date and time, right? So you should have to leave enough real estate for that action. So what I'll do, imagine using your thumb to pick 15 in this instance. You have to really go in and hit 15 without hitting 22, without hitting 8. So, you know, yeah, we're seeing a theme here. Just make it longer, give a lot of padding, so your user can easily hit that 8, hit that 15, hit that 22 without hitting anything else. So when you're designing for mobile, less is more. Less is more. So I don't mind having 2 things on screen as far as the user knows what those 2 things are. Yeah. So just think about Instagram. Instagram shows you one image, so you can like at a time. So yeah, you scroll, you just see one image, you scroll, next image. Users have no problem scrolling, okay? So yeah, and I think Twitter shows you about 3, depending on your phone size, 3 tweets at a time. So 3, 4 tweets at a time. So don't try and squeeze everything up to fit one design. Be very comfortable giving it a lot of vertical space. I know sometimes when you're trying to show your clients, you want everything to fit in one screen, but realistically, you want to give a lot of vertical space. Okay, so this is awesome. I love the way available time shows. Yeah, I like the fact you can. How do you want to speak to your doctor? Video call, voice call, messaging. Now with this action points, you have very similar something similar here when you're actually looking at your past calls with your doctor, right? So you need to define what this action. When you see a card, what does that mean? If I'm hitting a card, am I getting more information? If I'm hitting a card, am I actually calling or doing something with the doctor? Yeah. So right now, if hitting the card gives more information, in this instance, does hitting this card also give? Because you're using the same card design, right? So you have to keep that consistent. What I'll do differently here is to have like little checkbox, like how do you want a radio button or a checkbox? Yeah, like a checkbox. Someone might want to do all three actions. They might want to have a video call. They might. It just depends on the business code. So you might have a radio button or a checkbox. So yeah, but having it in this format makes me think that if I hit video call, I'm immediately gonna call the doctor. So it's just something you have to play around with psychology. This is also very good. I love the messaging platform. It looks good. What I would like to see here is, oh, I see a problem here. So the font sizes. I wish you could do this live. Maybe one day I'll have a live session because I like to ask you guys, hey, do you see a problem with this screen? And you're like, oh, I don't see a problem. Well, then just having that back and forth is really nice. Okay. I think what's throwing me off is the letter spacing. I don't know why. Maybe it's an aesthetic thing that it has like 4% letter spacing. For body text, I usually keep it at 0%, just let everything fit together. So maybe it's a brand thing, but personally, I'll keep it at 0. Yeah, reduce the letter spacing. The scene could be a footnote text. So this is actually a place where you can use a smaller text because scene is not so important. So that could be like 13 pixels or something, and maybe not be blue. It just what does blue mean, right? So maybe have it a lighter blue, not this actual blue button. Because when I see this blue button, this blue text, yeah, in some instances, yeah, so it tells me if I hit blue, it tells me more. Right now, if you hit blue, what does it do? So this blue should maybe be gray or a lighter blue. So it shouldn't be this your primary blue. So when doing this design, I hope you had your own design system where you defined what buttons and placeholders look like, because that will be key in these kind of decisions. So I like how this looks. This is great. I can see I can see the image of someone's legs, so it shows you took your time with this. Really awesome. Um, I love this. I love this navigation style. It's really modern. It looks good. Yeah, on this screen as well. Okay, so this says swipe down to hide chat. I think you want to show what the chat actually looks like, just so that the stakeholder can have context. But apart from that, I think this is cool. You might want to hide these images, files, location, settings. Yeah, you might want to have something that triggers these actions. Just because not every time a user would, need to, and it's taking so much real estate. So you might want to put them inside one button. When I hit it, everything shows up like this. It's collapsible. So these are not frequently used items. Okay, so you might want to have a way to hide and show it. Typo error there. So here we have a bit of a padding issue. If you can see, let me go to inspect. Yeah. So from this to the icon is 5, whereas from here to the end is 22. So this is not centrally aligned. So you want to make sure everything is padded equally on both sides. So you might want to give more padding to the icon and the text. Okay, so that is good. With this project, like I said earlier, you want to put your design system next to it, so I know if this is being hover, highlighted, just so I can have more context to what this is. And this is great. All right, so back to this icon here. So don't be afraid to play around with colors, even though you have a pretty monochrome design system. What you can actually do is to make sure that every successful action has a color. So I can see accepted here, green, that's great. Declined, red. The button here is red, that's great. So there's no reason why this couldn't be green. Maybe the green wouldn't work with the background, but just yeah, just play around with success icons and colors, just so that it's, or the whole card itself could be green, so that it just signals to a user that they're on the positive mark. Okay, so all right, so here we are on a really debated thing. Some designers I know like to justify text. Some stakeholders I know like to justify text. But me personally, I don't like justifying text. Okay, I just feel it start from the left, finishes where it finishes, and that just looks better to me. So what I would do differently is to just make it left aligned and left justify to the left. There's no need to for me, right? But maybe your stakeholder likes it like this, but I just feel, yeah, the text should be justified left. All right, so back to the real estate. So if you can see, I know you want to show everything in the app, but um, yeah, you need to leave a lot of room. So there's read more, there's featuring, and featuring has that blue action button color. So you might want to make this gray, light gray. You might want to make it like a footnote because featuring is not that important. It just depends on what you're trying to do with featuring. But just know this whole area here, everything looks kind of close together. And for mobile apps, you want to give as much room as you can. Okay. Again, feel very comfortable on mobile to give as much space both horizontally and vertically as you can. You don't need to squeeze things together. So this line height, I would increase the line height of this. So I can see that it's 14 pixels. I'll probably make the line height maybe 18 pixels. So there's a lot of room to breathe. And also these onboarding um, so these onboarding sliders give a lot more room to the onboarding sliders. But yeah, any other screens that I might have missed? I think that's everything. All right, fantastic, Olarewaju. Beautiful app. I was being nitpicky. I think this app is very close to production level. It's actually really good. Just from a general point of view, I would say the main thing is font sizes. Make sure you just get it right to font sizes and having that design system to show, when something is an action, hover, just to guide you in your design. It's also guide me in interpreting what's going on. Remember to give a lot of vertical and horizontal space. Mobile app doesn't matter if in your prototyping, yeah, you can make sure that the person can scroll up and down or left and right. Yeah, so you don't have to squeeze everything to fit on one screen. I know you want to put this on dribble or something like that, but trust me, you have to be functional. Give a lot more vertical space to things. And yeah, well done. This is really awesome work. I'd like to see more of you. So I'll put a link to the description for all his work if you want to follow him. Thanks for sending your design. All right, so the next design we have is from my man Jay. Jay is from India. Yeah, just reading from his case study, and he has his case study. I'll put a link to the description of the case study. So yeah, basically, you guys can read it, but essentially, he wants to create an app for watching anime. So, an anime streaming app. The problem statement was most people can't access anime content in India, so a lot of anime, so they just resort to streaming sites, and that was the problem statement. So that was the use case for building Webio, which is an app. And reading his case study, I got to find out that was his first design app, and it's incredible for your first design. Let me just show what it looks like here. Yeah, so this is the app and it looks great, especially for your first. It's amazing. I don't want to show. Maybe one day I'll show you guys what my first design looked like, but was nowhere. Yeah, I was nowhere like on this level. So great attention to detail. It looks great. It looks like someone that's a mid UX designer. It looks awesome. Let's just run through the case study first. Then we'll talk about the actual application, the UI application. So the first thing that stands out to me in this case study is a lot of he followed all the case study principles, defined the problem, got a brief, the duration, the tools, competitive analysis, the survey, observations. It looks really good. What's your screen of choice? The user personas, the UX, the flow, the journey map, the wireframe, low fidelity, high fidelity, from a structural point of view, this is A plus. This is a template for doing a case study. Okay, just reading it, like I said, the problem area was they couldn't find a lot of content, anime content, so we want to create an app that could have this anime content. So it talks about the demographic, the tools he used, he's a sole designer, and I really like this. So this is comparative analysis. So it's showing high user experience, large library, low user experience. So essentially, GoGo Anime is an I shouldn't even be shouting them out, but it's an illegal streaming platform. Whereas Crunchyroll, Pahi, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, and Netflix are like the legal ones, and they have high user experience. So what I would do differently is just to show the need for your app, because if you have these two guys with the large library and the high user experience, what is the need for your app? So I would probably try and either bring this back in my case study or try and just mention the need of your app somewhere. So yeah, that just talks about the problem area. What are the problems that you experience when using a streaming service or an anime streaming service? So they say they love ads, not love content. Yeah, basically those are the two major things I saw: ads and content. So here's the thing about the problem with this case study. If you guys read everything, is that he didn't really fix the problem. So the app is beautiful, it works, it looks great, but you mentioned not enough content and a lot of ads. So is your product fixing the ad problems? How is your product gonna fix the content problem? So that's just my only issue with this case study. Yeah, it's something called Chekhov's gun. So if you mention it, you might want to fix it. Yeah, you might show a solution for it. Otherwise, just if you're going to mention it just for research, you say, okay, side note, here are the problem areas, but this is the problem area I want to focus on. So you didn't really show me the problem area you're focusing on. I still don't see where Webio solves a problem after reading this case study. So that's just what I'll try and pick an application or pick a way I can solve a problem, because that's what UI UX essentially is, solving problems. Okay. Um, but sitemaps looks awesome, looks great. This is how you want to do a sitemap, just to show what exactly is going to be included, the journey map, navigation, all that looks fantastic. A plus for this as well. Low fidelity, beautiful, rough sketches. You even have the image. Dude, I can't believe this is your first application, man. You even have the icon for image, the icon for video. You're showing it out of bounds of the screen. Everything looks A plus. Everything looks A plus on the low fidelity. I like how you go into detail of just showing every screen. On this note, I would still maybe do like a low fidelity because of the vertical, how it's gonna look vertically, and you can compare it to when you flip your phone, just to show that difference of how it's gonna look. Right now, I think you just have actually when you're watching the anime, you only have the horizontal look. High fidelity is good, so it shows me what the app looks like without having the distraction of images and logos and all that. You might want to take out the logo from this. So when you're focusing on this type of low fidelity, you just want to focus on how the text will look, the area for images, and yeah, you can show some icons, but just keep everything really, really basic at this point. You just want to give someone the essential layout of how it should look, but it still looks great. Fantastic. The branding is on point. I love the colors. I love the consistency of the colors. I love the how the logo works in these two different variations. That's awesome. Okay, so it's a dark mode app. That's great. Now the onboarding screen is good. This looks great. And what I'll do, similar to what we said in the last project, what I'll do differently is just to give more space in between the nav items on mobile. A lot of people underestimate, the amount of space you can give on mobile, but if you have this nav bar, everything is kind of like crunched up there. So you might want to just give a little bit, maybe like 2 pixels more space in between, so I can just hit watch list easily, notifications, especially how you don't have a divider, a visible divider. So you want someone to be able to know when they hit that thumb what they're going to expect to get. So that's what I would add. Another thing I'll add to this case study is to show more of a design system, what your hover button looks like. Just try and just go in. It might not have to be the full design system, but just a little bit, just to guide me in knowing what these states are. All right, so welcome back. I have an issue with this emoji, and the issue I have is that this is the only place that emoji appears. So I know it's kind of like a trend now to have these emojis pop up in your design. It makes people feel more comfortable and relatable. But you want to be consistent with that. So if you're going to have this design element, you're going to have to want to repeat it at different stages. Maybe when you launch the app, you have this emoji. Maybe when you download something, download completed, an emoji comes up. So I have to see it in different points in the app to say, hey, this is the design style that he chose. We're just seeing it there and only here. It's kind of like, you know, so this is a bit iffy. This is still good. Email, password, forgot password. That's good. Yeah, so in just the arrangement of this, I'll think that the next flow is the home screen at this point. Yes, I think the arrangement is a bit off. I think, yeah, you want to have the login, get started. You want to have this one. You want to have the dashboard before the sidebars. Just rearrange it so it's easier to follow. I love this. Another thing I can say about the categories is that you have this dark overlay at the bottom, but the category text is at the top. So it's not really helping me see sports like or thriller. Yeah, having this dark overlay at the bottom isn't letting me see it here. So what I'll do differently is maybe just move that overlay a bit higher so you can cover the text as well, so the text is easier to see. Or yeah, just get rid of the overlay at all. It just makes it look a bit weird that's at the bottom, but the text is still having a little bit of issues at that point. So just move the gradient somewhere above the text, right, somewhere there, and that should sort it out. So this looks great. I'll say this icon is massive. This icon is really, really huge. I'll say you can still take it down a few pixels. You want to give a lot of space between the icon and the search and to start searching. Okay, I think the icon takes up massive room, or you might want to just move the search to the right a little bit more. Yeah, there's very tiny space in between these two elements here. Okay, so this is what search looks like. I would say just so that the user, anyone looking at this case study has a different experience, I'll say that the shows here, if you can, just add like different shows on latest so that you can just see a variation of shows just to sell the design more. This looks great. I love the home screen. This looks awesome. Continue watching. That looks great. Yep. That looks great. That looks fantastic. Yep. Nothing to say about that. I love the highlighted, what it's showing you, where you are, how it's highlighted. That looks good. Onto this screen. Yeah, so I think the size of your icons should just go down a little bit. I think they're really, really huge, and yeah, it's just really huge. And also the thickness of your icon. So your search icon and this menu icon are not the same thickness. I think this is like 2 pixels and this is 1 pixel. So you have to be very consistent with the weight of your icons everywhere. I like to design my own icons if I can't find the right icons, just so that they all have the consistent weight. This looks good. One thing I'll do differently is to just show how much I've watched. This is your teal color, so I'll just show, oh, this person has watched up to this point, and just show like a scroll bar up to that point. That's what I'll do differently there. So this navigation for comments, I don't know. Yeah, so you're showing that comments are active, right? But what is why is comments highlighted? If you can't do anything else, why are you highlighting comments? I'll just get rid of this highlight here and just show comments as it is. That's good. This works. There's a little bit of space here, so you might want to get rid of this space here. All right, this is awesome. Watching, favorites. It's really good. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on here between profile and comments. Can I click on this? Is this like a navigation situation? Which one is highlighted? So this comments one, you might want to bring this underline here just to show me where I am at this point. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so I see emojis are here, but these are emojis in text. I'm talking about the design emoji. So you might want to have more of an emoji design spread across the app. if you have it in that initial place. This notification area, I don't know, just looks boring, looks pretty plain. I think I would either make the background blurred or something. Just looks, yeah. I think this is yeah, I think you can do more with this notification screen in terms of just showing like your previous notifications. Can I actually go to the comments, or yeah, like what is happening in these notifications? It's just text, different levels of text. I think you can actually do more by just giving context to these notifications. You have different types of tabs. So you have this one here, but over here it's like a different element here. So you want to try and keep your tab elements the same throughout the app. So anywhere I'm in the app, I know, oh, these are tabs. Yeah, these are something else. So you want to fix that. All right, so this is a great use of overlay. So this highlights the back button. So no matter what's going on screen, my back button is safe. But like I said, I'll reduce the size of the back button. Okay, and that is pretty much it. It's a gorgeous app. It looks good. I wish it was real so I could get into anime and watch a lot of anime on it. It looks nice. It's just those certain design tweaks to make it look better. But part of the fonts, the branding, the contents, the UX, it's all good. Just those little things will make it better. And the biggest thing I can say is your case study. So let your case study always solve a problem. So define the problem, show me how you made a design that solves the problem. So WeBL, it's a good anime streaming app, but is it solving the initial problem that you spoke on? Yeah, that's something to think about. All right, so so it goes on. So the prototype is here. Haven't actually seen the prototype. Let's launch that. Home. This is really, really good. And the images are taking a while to load. That's awesome. I can't believe I can't believe this is his first. I literally can't believe this is your first design. Even the prototype is really, really good. Comments. Yeah, so you should show me what happens. Then yeah, the empty state for your comments. Yeah, this is where you could have brought in that emoji icon. You can brought it here. Haha, level 69. Nice. But you could have brought the emoji icon here so that it's consistent. You can increase the padding. I think everything is too crunched up here. So there could be some padding before this line. There could be padding above this line. And everything should have an equal space. So the padding bottom should be equal to the padding top and all that. So like there's some harmony in the design. And yeah, I'm really seeing that emoji style icon here. Downloads, okay. All right, so this is a text problem. So I use glasses, okay. I'm visually impaired. I can't see the number of episodes unless I zoom in. So try and keep your font size consistent. There's a body font, there's a footnote font. Number of episodes is really important. So I think that should be a bit bigger. From this point, this looks fantastic. Search. This looks really, really good. The prototype is really good. Action. Yeah, like I said, show yeah, bring some of these cards down here just so that there's some variety. But that looks really, really good. Let me just watch now. Play. Yeah, so depending on how much you've watched, that should have some difference between how much is watched and how much is left. It could be the thickness of the line, it could be the color, but yeah, there should be some difference rather than just having this scroll bar. The size of your icons should be smaller. I think this is really, really huge for a download icon. And also the height and the width, try and keep them as consistent as possible. So your full screen icon and your download icon should be the same height and the width. So there's some harmony in the design. All episodes, this looks good. What happens? Do you want to show the episode name here? Or is just going to be episode 1, episode 2, episode 3? So that'll be interesting to look at. I think this works great as well. The date and time of the comments, might want to show that there, so I just know new comments, old comments. And yeah, this is something that Netflix is missing currently. I can see I am a simp there. That's hilarious. So this is the thing that Netflix is missing currently, having the social aspect. So I'd have thought that you mentioned that in your case study and bring it here and say, oh, anime, people like to have that discussion. Netflix is missing it. Crunchyroll has it. Just so that there's more context to the design. So yeah, this is where that black overlay will be good. So I can see that back button. Yeah, so put that dark overlay even when you're watching the show. Season one. Beautiful, beautiful. More like this. Yep, yep, yep. I think Netflix has similar tabs, but if it's not broke, don't fix it if it ain't broke. That's what I say. All right, so I think that brings me to the end. This is a lovely app. I think I've mentioned my criticisms for the app, but for your first try, dude, this is the best first try I've ever seen in anything. So, congrats for that. Looking forward to seeing what you do. I'm sure you do amazing things. Yeah, he deserves more likes. So, links to the description. Go support him. And if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. If you like more of this content, just comment more content so I can produce more. I know what you guys like. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you in the next one.